Om Tava Kathamritam Tapta Jivanam Kavibhiriritam Kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadatam Bhuvi Grinanti Ye Purida Janaha Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. O Lord, your gospel is like nectar and bliss showered upon the pain-stricken lives of suffering humanity. It dispels all the sins and misdeeds of life. It brings spiritual welfare in life. The spiritual beauty, prosperity and grace spreads through and through one who listens to your holy message. They are the real givers who preach and pronounce the nectar of your message to the suffering humanity. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we are reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. We are on page 97 and it is Sunday, April 9, 1882. Sri Ramakrishna was seated in his drawing room in the Calcutta. One gentleman, Pran Krishna Mukherjee. It was between, and then in that time many devotees came, and the devotees putting the different questions, and Sri Ramakrishna is giving the answers. Now today, that another person who is the neighboring person of this visiting place of Mr. Mukherjee's house in Calcutta, the neighboring person, one question is very serious question. The question is that why God has created wicked people? Very difficult question, no? Good people, God is kind, God is gracious. Why He should create these cruel people, vulgar people? Why? And that's a eternal question. Perfect answer is only Sri Ramakrishna can give. Of course, it may be sometimes seem logical, sometimes may not be logical, but it is not satisfying. But anyhow, but the devotees can satisfy with this answer. But he says, Ramakrishna said, that is His will. His means God's will. His play. In His Maya, there exists Avidya as well as Vidya. Darkness is needed too. It reveals all the more the glory of the light. There is no doubt that anger, lust and greed are evil. Why then has God created them? In order to create saints. A man becomes a saint by conquering the senses. Is there anything impossible for a man who has subdued his passions? He can even realize God through His grace. Again, see how His whole play of creation is perpetuated through lust. So it is very question we do not, what we cannot say, the proper response is very difficult to give. Sri Ramakrishna says it's Leela, divine sport. Sportingly, there is no meaning in sports, no? Why in the Dodgers, yeah, two group will be so serious and they are fighting with each other. It is for fun. It's for just for be a good player and how to make some effort to be together, and it just starts with the same spirit at the beginning. Then it becomes little rivalry. That's a different question, but it is started with all fun, all creation, good and bad, they are needed in the creation. Only good will not do. If all the people are saintly people, all sit in meditation and no one does any harm, everyone looking at the welfare of other, and monotony comes, no? It is like going to watch a movie, and you watch a movie, which movie is more popular? Horror movie, which is frightening things. Even you go for Disney World to have some rides, frightening rides. People go for what? And some may get heart attack. They say, don't make an attempt to get into it if you have any heart problem. But still people go there for fun. So it is for fun. It's very difficult to explain why, but this is the one explanation. The whole world is God only, God in different form. It is only one reality. It is all ocean water, only different waves and ripples. So different names and forms. And when it forms and names one wave, dashing over the other, another is pushing down another is gulping another. So all these types of apparently very unpleasing things are happening in the surface of the ocean. But it's just for the fun. The water is water. There is nothing, only one, making so many diverse. So this is the one idea. Vedanta says is Maya. That one word, it is not there. No, you see, but it's not there. So if you say so, then that is one way of explaining something. It is not there. Like that, last night you have dreamt. You have a maybe good dream or whatever, maybe little frightening dream. But that was a dream, mere dream, nothing else. Now you see, it's a dream. And created by whom? Created by my mind. And mind created in the air. There is nothing. But you see so many things are happening. But when suppose I am dreaming and you are awake and you are standing there, will you see anything of my dream? No. But I will be crying in the dream or I will be happy in the dream. I will be enjoying the dream, good food in the dream, maybe sumptuous meal there. So, but this is happening in the mind. So is it why good in the dream, why bad in the dream has any meaning? There is no meaning. It is just mind creates such thing which is not real. Vedanta will say it is created by mind. That's one Maya. Maya, that which is not there, appears to be like that. It is called the Maya. Snake is not there, rope is there, but snake appears. That's called Maya. That means it is non-existing. You see, like a dream you see. This is also like a dream you see. So Vedanta says it is a daydream. That's a night dream, that's a daydream. So in the daydream, we see things, though it appears so real, but if just I go to sleep, for me, this reality vanishes. So, and we go to another state of mind. So we move in these three states of consciousness, waking, dream, sleep, and sleep to dream, or waking to this rotating around. Our whole life is nothing but dream, sleep, waking state to sleep, to dream, or whatever. This rotation is going on. This is our perception of the world. That's why we live in three realities. One reality now, this is so real, and everything is real. Everything is happiness, misery, pain. And then going to dream, that is another reality. Why reality? Because to me this is real now. And to me the same thing in the dream, everything is real for me. Their hunger is real, their thirst is real, friendship is real, anger is real. Everything is real there. Because I live in that awareness. And now another is the sleep state. In that sleep state, I do not know anything, but that is a state of my being where I am peaceful, joyful. That's why I remain. These two experiences are nullified there. So, is it true then? No. If it is true, it should be all the time same. That's the definition of truth. Truth means it was, it is, and it will be. in the three period of time, past, present and future. If it is not, is present now, it was, and now in future it is not there, it is nullifying, that is not truth. So it's the logic will tell us. But now, this is the Vedantic perspective, that these three, that's why I say, three states of our being, no? And we are Turiya. Real nature is Turiya, above all, beyond this duality. There is only one reality, which is consciousness, no? And that's in Samadhi. People go to in deep contemplation and they live in that awareness of the divine, absolute. So now, but another way of devotees' angle is something different. Devotees look at this object in a different perspective. He sees that it is all the play, God is playing. You can say the one way you can say the waves and ripples are only seeming appearance in Vedantic perspective. Another perspective, the water is playing in its one, becoming many and playing with itself. So that's called the Leela. Leela means divine sport. So in this divine sport, because it is a creation, there should be something sattvika, something rajasika, something tamasika. Sattvika means holiness, purity, love, joy, blessings. Rajasika and tamasika, arrogance, haughtiness, and then meanness, unkindness, and to brutality, etc., tamas. So these are the combination and permutation of this whole universe is that, and we as individual, we are also a mixture of some sattvika quality, some rajas quality, some tamas quality. In us, every one of us constituted with that. When you are in a meditative mood, you are in a sattvika level. When you are a very active person, you are in rajas mood. When you are sleeping or you are tired, you are in tamas mood. So also our reactions, sattvika reaction, rajasika reaction, tamasa reaction, to any incident, anything happening, our reactions are different. Now when you are in a good mood, someone tells you something, you smilingly, jokingly, just pay no attention, it was fun. But when you are in a bad mood and someone uses the same word, then you are gone. That means it is all the three gunas are continuously working. That's why Gita says, Nistraigunna bhavarjuna. Oh Arjuna, you go beyond the three gunas. The three gunas are playing, the whole universe is nothing but the play of the three gunas, and that's called the Leela of God, God's Leela. God has become, He has become this, and He is playing with Himself. That's why we call the Leela. So Sri Ramakrishna says that it is His will. Then you can put question, why He wills such thing? You cannot put that question. If God is the ultimate reality, beyond that is absolute truth. What is God concept? God concept is the concept of God, we can reiterate again. The highest concept of God is timeless, spaceless, absolute truth. Satchidananda truth. No duality, no you, no me, no God, no angel, no creation, no created, nothing. It's only that and that. Satchidananda, that is the God. One step down, that is called God. Judeo-Christian idea is called God. Sanskrit term is called Ishvara. He becomes the creator God, but before creation has not come. He only steps down one to the external world, downgrade journey, one absolute. There is a potential power in that. He said, I shall be many. Upanishad says, Eko aham. I am only absolutely one and without a second. Eko aham. Prajayeti. Bahushyama. I shall be many. That simple desire manifested himself. That person who is doing that, he is called the God. That means nirakara, but with guna, saguna. It's called nirakara saguna, Brahman. Brahman, absolute, is the Vedantic concept of highest idea about God. Next one step down, what is called, we normally use the word God to mean this God, who is not absolute. One step down, it's a desire has come. And where the desire comes from? If it is only one, well, yes, you can be a singer, but when you don't sing, you are not, we don't call you singer. So when that singing, which is potential, manifests, then we give the name singer. So God is God because He has the will to become from one to many. That idea comes. And then prajayeti, then comes the creation. And how He does this creation? Vedanta says it is by Maya. Bhakti says it is the Shakti, the power of the divine. So that power is called in Hinduism we attribute it to the Divine Mother. We call Mother Durga, Kali, Saraswati, Shiva, and these are the power. So with that it manifests in the world of duality it comes. So this God has created. And how He will create? Creation means variety, no? Creation means an artist creates, means varieties. Even the color, the brush stroke, they do multiple color, even not multiple but single color, and that's difference of shades. Little something is there. So creation means you have to put somewhere little sattvika quality, some rajasa quality, some tamasa quality. So the whole creation is like that. So God has created, that's why Ramakrishna says, it is His will, cosmic will. As we will, we desire, will means desire. As we desire something, and we create things like that, if someone desires, I will have this plot of land, I will build a house. And where is the house? In the mind. And he says plans, that will have so many rooms and so many garden place and this and that. It's in the mind. So Ishvara also did that. I will be many. And that was in the mind, in the plan, mind of God, God's mind, that we call cosmic mind. Cosmic mind is your mind, my mind, every mind. If you all put together, that whole is called the cosmic mind. So this in this creation then, this mind then makes it the whole diversity. And that's why it is said in this Maya there exists Avidya. So it should do two types of Maya. One is Avidya, one is Vidya. Avidya means which leads us to realization, self-realization, which leads us to liberation and freedom from bondage. Avidya, which takes us away from that just for fun. Nothing wrong. No one is, all are divine here. Everyone is divine. Some are under the influence of Avidya, some are in the influence of Vidya. Vidya means knowledge. Those who are under the influence of Vidya or knowledge, they are getting in the path of liberation and freedom and joy and peace, detaching from the world, withdrawing the mind into the inner chamber of the heart and feeling the presence of that divine in everywhere. This is Vidya. Vidya means knowledge. And Avidya, that makes us forget about God, reality, truth, and makes us too much engaged into the world as world is real. And it makes us mad because everything is real. And we get so much involved into it, at the end of the day we think that what did I do whole day? I was so busy, but what? Yes, if you think you're a devotee, you think that you did it for God, then you are saved. If not, then you say, another day is gone in vain. Because I didn't utilize this day for purpose of why I have to be free from all bondage. To be, to human life is for freedom, to attain that freedom. That is the Vidya, knowledge. And Avidya means ignorance, which takes us, I am the body, that's why Sarvadevananda is saying, connecting with this and connecting with this. This attachment here, attachment there. This is called God, detaching from that. And when it is engaged, the Jnana Mudra does not work, Vidya does not work, Vidya is singularly waiting here. And it does not connect. When it connects, then it leads to the knowledge and wisdom, and this world remains separated. So, this is the idea of Avidya and Vidya. In the creation, there will be Vidya and Avidya, good and bad, holy and unholy, noble and ignoble. Darkness. So in the Maya, there exists Avidya as well as Vidya. Darkness is needed too. It reveals. Why darkness? Darkness reveals all the more the glory of light. See how we feel when the sky becomes gloomy for 4, 5, 7 days. We don't suffer from that. But those who are in Seattle and other areas, they don't see the sun. Or some other northern Norway and others, they don't see the sun. One day sun comes, they forget everything and they jump in joy. Then we understand what is the value of the light. But darkness was there, that's why value becomes more. It makes us to understand the glory of the light. So, glory of the holy people, glory of the spiritual people, and to understand that saint, what are the saints' life, and how glorious is that, to understand. That's why parallelly the avidya, ignorance, is there, and its production is here. That's why it is darkness. So darkness is bad in one sense, but darkness is not bad, because with a glimpse of light comes, then you understand the value of light more. So we know what is our eternal self. If we know a glimpse of comes, then we know we are in avidya. Oh my God, I was drowned into ignorance, and how I made myself so miserable, not knowing that I am not this. So that gives us that makes a saint. Another point, Vedantic point will be that there is no darkness. All light, only in different vibration. There are light waves. Light wave everywhere. In the night, pitch dark, there is also light, such a frequency that our eyes cannot catch. But there are owls and others, they will be, and animals, they go for prey in the pitch dark night. But we are dark there. But in daytime there, they cannot see. Many of the owl and other things, they don't see clearly as we see. So, there is a verse. Some are like, feel the darkness in the daylight, and some feel the dark in the dark light. That means that only the gradation of, so sattvika gradation, rajasika or tamasika. Where is this 3 level that gives the, so sattvika is a brighter one and tamasika is the darker one. So dark one is needed too, and it reveals all the more glory of the light. See, Christ, why Christ took that responsibility of being crucified? He could have escaped. To set an example that there one can stand up and say, God bless them, they do not know what they are doing. At that point they can say, conquering death, conquering darkness, conquering ignorance. That is called the purpose of life, to know God's creation. They create saints. That's why he says, darkness is needed too. It reveals more the glory of the light. There is no doubt that anger, lust and greed are evil. Why then God has created them? Why? To create, in order to create a saint. To make us saints. So that we can, in the turmoil of darkness, we can rise up above. That's why in Christianity, in the Catholic churches, they give sainthood. When they give sainthood, when they go through so much of troubles and turmoils, and so they withstood those troubles, they conquered them. So here, in order to create saints, that's a beautiful word. Swami Vivekananda also said this in a different way. Swami Vivekananda said, why there is so much suffering? Why there is so much suffering? Because to make you great. If you see the suffering, you will feel sometimes, oh, that person is suffering so much. So your heart will be broadened. Otherwise you will be keeping yourself in yourself. So why others suffering? Swamiji is another explanation, very moving explanation. He says, to make you great, they are suffering. So that you can open up, you can love, you can embrace them and feel their suffering and try to go forward to help them in their spirit, in their life. A man becomes a saint by conquering the senses. Is there anything impossible for a man who has subdued his passion? That means the power of self-control. Who has self-control, he has conquered the world, no? Not the person who can conquer the world by military force or anything. He is the most coward person. He remains in safe area. In the earlier war was better. You are powerful, go fight one-on-one. And let us see who is powerful. But you are powerful now, putting a trigger here and one drone is going and bombing. So it is, more strength is necessary to conquer the self. So it is called self-control. Self-control. And if a self-control person, they can do extraordinary things because they have their own management of their own ego and other. He can even realize God through His grace. He can see how His whole play of creation is perpetuated through lust. The whole world God has created and given little lust in the mind. Who has given? It is He. And who is these people? It is He Himself. And creating that He has given. Why? Normally it is said how the creation will go on. Otherwise all will be sent. That's why they give this little lustful idea, so that they get little. The mother gives a baby a toy, and so that baby is happy with the toy and holding it and crying with it and this and that. No. But that has been given willfully for play. He wants to, when you want to, that otherwise they will be going, there is a, Ramakrishna mentioned, there is a, what is called the granny. Granny, you cannot touch the granny. If you once touch the granny, so no one can make you play anymore. Your play is done. So granny is God. So if one can touch God, then he is free from all shackles of life. So there is need of everything. And he is supporting this idea that once Mother Sita said to her husband, Rama, it would be grand if every house in Ajodhya were a mansion. I find many people, many houses are old and dilapidated. But Rama said, my dear, if all the houses were beautiful ones, what would the masons do? Laughter. God has created all kinds of things. He has created good trees and poisonous plants and weeds as well. Among the animals there are good, bad and all the kind of creatures, tigers, lions, snakes and so on. So he says, this is a story you know, Mother Sita was very compassionate. So she saw that in the kingdom of Rama, there are many poor people whose roofs are gone, and then, so he said, why not Rama, you are such a kind God, so long king, so make everyone's house livable, like not that leaking roof and this and that. So make everything ready. He said, no, that is the way. Then what happened? Actually, Rama did that. And when it was done, and then when everyone is happy, the roofers and the builders, they don't need any job anymore. So the palace was leaking one time, and Sita complained to Rama, try to find some roofer.
Then Rama sent his people, there is no roofer available because they don't do that job at all. Because all houses are now made freshly, newly made houses, so they don't need, and they're given up that job. Then Rama said, and see that in this world, this is also necessary to they go on with the play of creation. So that's why it is, Ramakrishna said, once Sita told her husband Rama, it would be grand if every house in Ajodhya were like mansion. And I find many houses are old. And then Rama says, if all houses were beautiful ones, who would the mason do? What would the masons do? Masons will be not, their job is done, so they will not be available. So God has created all kinds of things. See, really in the nature, we see so much. There is beautiful roses, no? With a beautiful fragrance. And there are poison oaks, no? Why this poison oak then? I do not know. In human being, there are personalities of different temperament. In the animal world also you find there are, in the plant world there is something. So in every creation, in the sea world you find how much is going on there. So why this variety? This variety is called creation. And it is God has created all kinds of things, good trees and poisonous plants and weeds as well. Never. Sir, is it ever possible to realize God while leading the life of a householder? So this is again a very oft-quoted question, and this is our question. Okay, spirituality is for me. We are in different job in our whole life. We are working in different areas. Some are engineers, some are doctors, some are lawyers, someone is a teacher, someone is a engineer, scientist. So we are working in, can God realize this for me? Or a few selected people who will be wearing gerua, they will not get, everyone will not get God realization, among them also. But will God is only for them and not for us? What will happen? We are normal people in this life. We are hard-working people. We have to maintain our family. And what about us? Then Sri Ramakrishna says, it's possible to realize God while leading the householder's life? Master said, of course, yes, certainly. But as I said just now, one must live in holy company and pray unceasingly. So two ideas have been given. Yes, we can. But what is the way? First of all, holy company. Holy company means whenever we go into such place or some discussion or read something or chant something, you sing something, your mind gets uplifted. Holy company. God is holy. And anything that makes your mind lifted from the mundane world, mundane thoughts, that is holy. So that one must live in holy company. Otherwise, we do not understand what is holiness. Many people put this question, what is holiness? They have little misconception. Holiness is nothing. Holiness is only thinking of our divine nature, higher nature, pure nature. And just thinking itself is holiness. But it's better, it is a theory. Holiness is in us, thinking of God, but we have no concept of God. But if I find somebody who actually leading the spiritual life and becoming God intoxicated more and more and more inside, so being in presence of them, I can feel something which is really gives us the touch of spirituality. As you know, in a bad association, in a person who is very brutal and you just be around that person not knowing anything. You can feel that vibration is something, telling you something. As you are not comfortable. Similarly, the spirituality also, good people, noble people, spiritual people, in their presence, we can feel that our mind moves in a higher plane. We were in our life also, we felt some great Swamis we met. Being with them, even they are talking not very highly spiritual thing. Some, of course, they talk, but even not talking, but being with him, he is not speaking, silent. You go and sit. And when you come out, you feel that your mind was really in a different plane. So, two things are necessary. We have to power to absorb. Going to a holy place does not make anything holy. To absorb that holiness, we need our preparation. That's why he's giving the idea. It is the holy company, means and prayer and pray unceasingly, internal prayer. O Lord, make me pure. Show your divine form. Ramakrishna taught us everything, but who remembers that and who feels that way? Today is gone. Beautiful sunset. In our parking lot, even if you stand, you can see how the sun is setting down. No? And beautiful sunset, silently it is happening, the big event, declaring the day is gone, reminding us, hey, what did you do? How did you spend the day? And reminding us to think of God. So, that is the thing, that it is this mind should think. Ramakrishna used to say, oh mother, another day is gone. The sun is setting and he is in tears. Another day is gone. Today's 24 hours is gone. And how did I utilize? I didn't see you yet till today. Such yearning, such restlessness. Thinking how the day went. How the day went, nothing. The sun is setting. And that is creating such emotion in his mind that I have spent the 24. God, one Swami came here and used to say, God is so kind that he has given all the same quantity, same amount of time and possibilities. How you utilize your time. 24 hours are given to everyone. No? Most lazy person, to the most active person, to the most meditative person, to the most restless person. 24 hours is given to everyone. How in this 24 hours time period one has utilized the moments, every second, split seconds. He has really utilized the day. That's why it is said, one day gone. Tattayanti napunor agata. The day that goes away never comes back in life. The moment that passes away never comes back. So what did I do? Shall I spend my day uselessly, worthlessly? There is a song, Ramakrishna used to sing that song also. Jabe ki he dino yamar bifole choli. O Lord, will my life go in vain? Day passes like that, moment passes like that, and I am just taking the day very easily. Good fun, good joy, that's okay. But how can it be better utilized? That is called the yearning, and that yearning is called sadhu. Feeling for sadhu, going for sadhu sangha. Ramakrishna's life showed us that every day he used to cry, and he used to sometimes become so restless, and will rub his face on the bank of the sandy bed and say, Ma, please show your divine form. Another day is lost in my life. So who knows how many days are left. So that yearning comes. That's one characteristic. And also unceasing prayer. Say, I cannot do it. Oh Lord, help me, help me, help me. So that's why whatever we do, it is external work. But mind, if it is connected like that, that is the sadhu sangha. Otherwise, we cannot really think of that you get totally free from your whole work and just go into the forest or to the Himalayas to find a holy man and live with him. And of course, living with a holy man is not good also. Too much holy, you become close to the holy man, then you try to see the fault of this holy man. and very difficult. At that time, it ruins spiritual life also. So we have many examples in our order. We saw the greatest spiritual personality, par excellence Brahmagyani, and someone is given to attend and serve him. It is a great fortune, but could not take the right attitude, and he started such a criticizing and this and that. So, and ultimately he lost his spiritual opportunity. So to create a mindset like that, that's why it is said, don't stay close to your guru more than 3 days. There is a statement. Because third day, after third day, we'll see what he is doing, what he is talking. He's not relevant, and he's a cheat, he's a liar. All these damaging remarks will start coming. So that is, anyhow, the point is that but in the holy company, matured mind can stay there, no, and get tremendous benefit. I give you a very simple example. Swami Nirvanananda, Sujji Maharaj, who came here. He was the vice president of our order, and he was Raja Maharaj's disciple. He used to serve Raja Maharaj. See, another attendant, how he took it. Maharaj was in good mood, he's always in spiritual mood. But he will be said, hey, Sujji, his other name was Nirvanananda, name was Sujji. Hey, can you feed me luchi? And sumptuous feast, luchi and paratha, all like that. I want to within half an hour. Hurry, within half an hour, how can you make such a delicious meal? But he was so efficient, he will within short period will manage anyway. He used to carry all the time what he needs. What by chance he asked for this, so everything in his stock, even travel time he used to carry. And he served and served and served, and Maharaj was so pleased. He didn't do much meditation. The life, they didn't, because of heavy work pressure, and to be with Maharaj day and night. But when he was passing, Raja Maharaj is leaving the body, Brahmananda, they said, my child, you have served me very much. I bless you with Brahmagyana. And he was a Brahmagyana par excellence. By serving, making chapati and roti. Dal and tarkari. See, and he took the advantage of that. The being a holy God. They say that mindset is also necessary. Otherwise, to follow the instruction of Guru is called Guru service. So anyway, so that is the company.
For Brahmananda Swami, this Nirvanananda Swami was always carrying staff to serve him better, and he got the blessings of Brahmagyana. And in case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his disciple, because after lunch he had the habit of having some kind of Indian berries. So he, one day after Mount Krishna, like that, he went to the nearby forest, got one and offered him half and kept half for the next day. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked next day for it, he right away gave, and he said that you have the habit of keeping things in collection. That's not the sadhu attitude. Leave the group, be a householder.
So that's okay.
So in this case, he got the blessings of Brahmagyana by
But
and he got
that's also Brahmagyana.
from the guru.
That's also Brahmagyana. His question is that he also got the Brahmagyana. Guru's grace will come on that. Because he was correcting the person so that he has no tendency. Monks should not correct anything for future. That's a great ideal. Whole of India, you go hundreds and thousands of sadhus, they only karapatri, get your bhiksha, go to door, and they give you some whatever food, and you eat it. That's all, and water. That's all. What, like the birds? Do the birds think that tomorrow what shall I eat? You see in the early morning, so many birds we see that flying from this end and going this way, miles and miles and miles, and they eat and happy, and then they start chirping. And again hungry in noontime, they try to find some food, and again happy. That's why I call sannyasis, monks, our what group we belong to Vihangam. Vihangam means the bird family. We should not possess anything. Monks should not have personal possession. Because that possession idea is only God. If the mind goes to anything minus anything other than God, that much will be the failure. So that high, and that's to set a high ideal, Mahaprabhu did that. So those are, out of love he did it. It is for his spiritual growth to happen quickly, for that person, his individual. But holy company is holy company. He could take that teaching. Main thing is that detachment, everyone, you want to Brahmagyan, you are talking about Brahmagyan, how it happened with him. I am saying he didn't do japa much as other people do, sadhana. But he is always attentive to his Guru. And whatever he want, and last moment he blessed. And really, he was one of our greatest Swami afterwards. He didn't have a high education even. Because in those days, they used to come out of the inspiration of renouncing everything, say giving up school, college studies and things. No. So they engage into God realization aspect more. So that not highly educated, not anything, but only sadhu seva with proper spirit. They can realize God. There are many other examples also. See those stayed with Ramana Maharshi. You can find some stories like that. In ancient times, some sages, say Sabari, the greatest example of Sabari. Sabari was what you call the tribal lady. She was born a small child and left, and she came into the house, the sage, what is his name? Markandu, no? The Markandu sage. And she remained with Markandu sage and served the Markandu rishi. That sage used to live, and he gave shelter to that girl, small girl, nobody to look after, and taught her how to pray, how to do all these things. And then she became a great saint. Sabari is a great example in the Ramayana. So there are plenty of examples like that, that only by serving Guru or being with Guru, by grace, by their grace, they have attained the highest, not by japa meditation otherwise. That's why Holy Company is so much praised in this gospel. You will find how many times he says, as also in Ramayana and in other old scriptures, there is many instances of this Holy Company. And pray unceasingly. Then he said, one should weep for God. When the impurities of the mind are thus washed away, one realizes God. The mind is like a needle covered with mud, and God is like a magnet. The needle cannot be united with the magnet until it is free from mud. Tears wash away the mud, which is nothing but lust, anger, greed and other tendencies, and the inclination to worldly enjoyment as well. So he is emphasizing cry for God. That's the very purest thing. What is the purest thing in the world and God likes? God does not like your gold and jewelry, what we give in our puja. It is for our satisfaction we give. But he wants the love. So tear when one cries for God with tears, and that's the most thing God wants. That means with so much devotion, so much love, one feels the pangs of separation from God, and God realization is close to them. So it is said that when we cry for God, we can, that a blessed day, one drop of tears comes one day in your eyes, you will feel in your private life that how that blissful is the day that goes whole day, its impact goes on, if you can cry for God. And that is the purest thing, which can wash away all the dust and dirt of the mind. Dust and dirt of the mind is creating us a person who is attached to the temporary things. And when it is cleared, like a magnet, the needle will be instantly connected there. It is there. Attraction is also there. But it is because of the dust and dirt of the lust, greed, anger, all these things inside, that covers the needle. That's why Sri Ramakrishna says that when the impurities of the mind are washed away, one realizes God. The mind is like a needle covered with mud, and God is like magnet. The needle cannot be united with the magnet unless it is free from mud. Tears wash away mud, which is nothing but lust, anger, greed, and other evil tendencies, and the inclination to the worldly enjoyment. As soon as the mud is washed away, the magnet attracts the needle. That is to say, man realizes God. Only the pure in heart see God. A fever patient has an excess of watery element in its system. What can quinine do for him unless it is removed? So he is giving an example that medicine can cure you, but we have to be freed from the impurities first. So why should not one realize God while living in the world? But as I said, one must live in holy company, pray to God, weeping for His grace, and now and then go into solitude. Unless the plant on a footpath, sidewalk, are protected at first by the fences, they are destroyed by the cattle. In the formative period, that's why spirituality should be little protected, so that not going to 10 places. Many people go to different ideas, different thoughts. That's not good. The plant to grow, you take one idea and then grow in that idea and mature in that idea, and then you go anywhere. You will be benefited by that. But going today to one tradition, to another tradition, only you are wasting the time because it's in depth. You are not going deep into the depth of it, spirituality. So it is said that one should, three things he has suggested is that as soon one must live in holy company, that's one point. 2, pray to God is second point. 3rd, weeping for His grace, and now and then going to solitude. So that means solitude means we need not have to go too far away from our workplace, but every day make some time for morning meditation, noon meditation, to make some time secluded from the activities, to increase our interest for God realization. And when it becomes more and more, then the internal plant becomes a strong tree. Then you don't need to worry about that. Any storm comes, it will not be able to break it. So unless the plant on a sidewalk are protected at first by fence, they are destroyed by the cattle. Now, and again another question, then householders too will have the vision of God, won't they, Master? Everybody will surely be liberated, but one should follow the instructions of the Guru. If one follows a dubious path, one will suffer in trying to retrace one's step. It takes a long time to achieve liberation. A man may fail to obtain it in this life. Perhaps he will realize God only after many births. Sages like Janaka performed worldly duties. They performed them bearing God in their mind, as a dancing girl dances, keeping jars of trays on her head. Have not you seen how the women in the northwest India walk, talking, laughing, while carrying water pitchers on their heads? Did you see that? They have many pots they carry. Women of Rajasthan and other areas, they want to bring water from different distance, and they don't hold it. One pitcher about another pitcher, and they're walking like that. They have made them expert. So similarly, the spiritual life should be maintained. Being in the world where we are, taking in the proper course of sadhana and following the instruction, we get it. And everybody, Ramakrishna said, everybody will surely be liberated. But one should have to follow the instruction of the teacher, Guru. If one follows a dubious path, it will take a long time. That is the only point. You just, again another question, you just referred to the instruction of Guru. How shall we find him? And this question, you are talking about the Guru. So Guru we find in the world many Gurus. Gurus are more than the disciples. Because Guru mile lakh, chela na mile ek. That means Gurus are available everywhere. Suppose if you have some health problem, will be 20 Gurus can give you advice. Immediately, do this, do that, do that, do that, do that. But who follows that? Followers, discipleship is very few who can instruction to follow the instruction. So Ramakrishna said, anyone and everyone cannot be a guru. A huge timber floats on the water and can carry animals as well. But a piece of worthless wood sinks if a man sits on it and drowns him. So man will also drown, that wood will also drown. Therefore, in every age, God incarnates himself as the Guru to teach humanity. Satchidananda alone is the Guru. This is a very beautiful conclusion. Who is your Guru? Yeah, you have a human Guru maybe, but don't pay attention much to that Guru. Follow the Guru's instruction. And through him go to Satchidananda Guru. Satchidananda is Guru. Ramakrishna is Guru's Guru. Avatar is Guru's Guru. That's why think of him day and night. Guru, Ishta, they are same. That Guru and Ishta means that inner self of your Guru which he taught us. So that should be our connection, link. And so Guru and Ishta are one. That means that Satchidananda Guru is our Ishta also. What knowledge and what is the nature of ego? God alone is the doer and none else. That is called knowledge. I am not the doer. I am mere instrument in his hands. Therefore I say, O Mother, thou art the operator and I am the machine. Thou art the indweller, I am the house. Thou art the driver, I am the carriage. I move as thou movest me. I do as thou makest me do. I speak as thou makest me speak. Not I, but thou, but thou. So, this is the prayer. He is teaching us how to pray, that God alone is the doer. So I am nothing. Every day to mentally, you need not have to say it out loud to the people outside so that they take advantage of you. You need not. But internally, oh Lord, I am only the instrument. You are the machine, machinist. I am the carriage. You are the driver. So, by your guidance, let me guide it. Let me be guided by you. And you are the reality. I am only an XA. So this idea, Kathopanishad also says, the charioteer, etc. The indwelling God is the chariot. So this type of prayer, this type of crying with the tears, with listening to holy company, changing our attitude to surrendering everything. So these are the beautiful ideas given today, that God realization is possible. It is not any special group of people, or only privileged people will get God realization. Everyone can have it. Only the question is that who wants? Ramakrishna said, people shed jar full of tears for anything happening in the world and worldly life, any loss, anything we are anxious to be lost, but we have lost already, or there is a potential difficulty coming. We are really restless and we cry for that remedy. But who cries for God? So cry, and that's why we chant the name of the Lord every day we call, and His glory unceasingly, so that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean. That is the point. How to clean all cleaning is here, and it cannot be cleaned by any other detergent. Only tears are the good detergent, and love is good detergent. And as we do it, it will be clear and pure. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. One question, should we practice being with difficult people if we cannot avoid them? Will that help us build spiritual muscle? Yeah. So where will you go? If you have to live in your life, you will have to be with the people around. But as Ramakrishna suggested, you see God everywhere, but don't go to hug a tiger. So if you see that person is not good, with respectful distance, keep yourself safe, and not to get into any conflict with him as much as is available. So we should avoid them, means avoid with dignity. So we should not avoid them totally. Avoid means then also ego comes. I am superior to you. He is bad, I am good. No? That also. Mind is so tricky. It functions in such a way. What will it do this moment? What will it think other moment? You cannot trust on that. Therefore, be alert on that. Yes, if you feel that your spirituality or your in the path of spirituality some obstacle, try to avoid that, but with dignity. Need not have to be rude and unkind to it. Should a disciple pay attention to others' opinion about his guru? You should not. In our scripture it is said, don't listen to your abuse about your guru or anything. You should not. And depends on that. Ramakrishna's story, 2 stories are there. Some people in the boat, they are coming and they are criticizing Ramakrishna right and left. And there was Jogin Maharaj. He was very soft-natured, so he didn't say anything. And then he reported. Then Ramakrishna said, they are criticizing me and you didn't say anything. You should have protested it. And that means he was so soft. And then again, Niranjan Maharaj, he was very strong and stout. One day he was coming by boat, and some critics were there, unnecessary. Sri Ramakrishna didn't do any harm to them. But this is the nature of the world. So they said, oh, Dakshineshwar, crazy guy, he is doing like this and destroying the brain of young boys, of Calcutta boys, who are bright and brilliant and spoiling their brain, and criticized one part. And then he got so angry, stop this criticism. And if you don't do, I shall drown the entire boat. And he started tossing the boat. And then he came back and reported to Ramakrishna. He said, why did you go so far? The boatman didn't do any harm. And the helmsman, they didn't do anything. But some people are criticizing. For that reason, you are drowning everyone. Anger should not be good. You should not be angry like that. He scolded him. So there is a balance should be made. You need not have to go into fight to show that my guru is great. Not necessary. But not to listen also. If you don't, you have to avoid that. That's better. It depends on your own strength. And also mostly think that people will say something. If they say about you, that's okay. But we should not listen to our anything said about our gurus. Why call it gospel? Why call it gospel? Because gospel is a words of Lord, God, and that really redeems us from ignorance. That's why we put it into the level of gospel. If we must spend time around people that are not spiritual, if we serve them as if they are God, does that count as holy company till we can be with the spiritual people again? This question is that if we must spend time around people that are not spiritual, if we serve them as they are God, does that count as holy company? Yes, holy company, if you can keep the attitude that I am serving God in them. God is in everyone, but if you can feel that I am serving God, so then it matters little that is giving you the company, and your heart is touching the association of God. If this world is God Himself, then after moksha, why go beyond this world and beyond birth and death? Why after moksha one cannot continue with worldly existence by seeing God in everything? Yes, you are correct. Yes, they remain. After realizing God, they don't die. They are called the Sthitaprajnas in the Bhagavad Gita. They are called the Brahmagyanis. They are called the Jivan Muktas. Jivan Mukta means like that. Jivan means while living, they are mukta, they are free. Yes, after realization of moksha, liberation, they come back and they live like a free soul. And they live in the world. Of course they live. Otherwise, how do we know that there is a state which can be achieved, which is beyond sorrows and suffering? Last question. While practicing sadhana, if worldly thoughts arise in the mind, what is the way to manage them and turn the mind towards God again? That's the same thing. You have to practice. During the practice, mind will go. Take it for granted. The mind will go to objects of the day-to-day transactional world. Whatever I did, whom I met, and all this, the mind naturally will go. But we will have to watch them and bring it back. That's why I call the pratyahara. Patanjali Yoga's eightfold path. The first internal sadhana is pratyahara. Withdraw the mind. Mind goes there, you follow the mind and catch the mind, bring it back. That's called pratyahara. We will have to practice that. Mind goes from one object to the other object when we meditate. Rather, other time you can be very happy and very peaceful. But when you start meditating, all these thoughts will come together. It's natural, but we will have to be watchful and bring the mind back again and again and again to the object of the heart center. It's a practice. Oh, another question has come. What would you suggest the young students who are receiving a lot of acceptance or rejections of college applications now? What should they do to keep their mind in Thakur and Ma? They should have to first have trust in themselves. Okay, it didn't work here, I will try in another place. So it should be always very bold and hard-working. If a student will have to prepare more with more attention, not to give up. But at the same time, one should be prayerful. Otherwise, to keep the mind in the God does not mean that we will be impractical in life. We should be efficient in life. And then you can... it is a big question for a student, of course, that young students who are receiving a lot of acceptance or rejections of college applications. If you get good, many offers, then you say, thank God, you are bringing so much. If you don't, oh Lord, give me more intellect and understanding so that I can get a good school. So we'll have to do that. Mostly we'll have to do our duties best, study our subjects more, and try our best and give it to God. Then everyone can say, I have done my part, let Lord do that. That's a Karma Yoga idea. I did my best, what I can do, and rest is God's hand. Whether success comes or failure comes, I don't care for that. I will try again. New attempt should be made. How to repent for wrongdoings? Repent. Say, oh Lord, I did it, I won't do it again. That's all. Simple, very simple. This is the simple way of doing. And that have been committed by us unknowingly. And why do we sometimes do things without realizing that we are doing wrong things? Yeah, ignorantly you have done. Ignorantly we do so many things, but that does not count much. If we do intelligently, willingly, in the courthouse, someone has done something innocently, not knowing, the judge will give punishment less. And if it is done intentionally, punishment becomes severe. With what the intention? That is very important, no? Is it not? In the courthouse, the judges, what a child, a baby, maybe 5-6 years baby. Yes, he saw the mom has kept a gun. He does not know. And his toy like playing and shoot. And that may hit his mom or may sister or somebody. They don't take that baby to the jail because the baby has done that. Because innocent doing, he does not know at all. There is no sense at all. Similarly, if we do sincerely that, oh Lord, I have done it innocently, I do not know, then it is your mind is already clear. But it is don't do it intentionally. That's the point. So why does it happen? Because of our past samaskaras. We have our past doings, past intentions are there. So they prompt us to do. Like I give the example to 2 eggs are hatched by the same duck or say swan or something. And when one goes towards the land and another goes towards the water. Why does it go? Because it is a tendency. One is a hen, another is a duck. So the 2 eggs appear to be almost same, and the mother who is hatching is sitting on the both. But one goes this way, one goes that. So we have also our tendencies because of our past life's karma. So we'll have to work with that and pray and do, and by God's grace things will be okay. Thank you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thanks for coming. And I know some people may be online. Thank you all. Tomorrow will be Mahendranath Swami and Patanjali Yoga, no? Patanjali. Tomorrow 7:30, Patanjali Yoga by Swami Mahendranath.